In battles, men fight in large units, and those units tend to behave as units. And a unit can be described, and often are in the ancient sources, as doing a thing, as though that unit acted with one mind. And at some point, one unit runs away or routs. It flees or it routs. People tend not to fight to the death, not to the last man. When a unit of, say, 500 men attacks another unit of, let's say, 500 men for the sake of argument, when one side, when the score has gone from 500 to 400, 100, the 100 doesn't stand a chance now. It's outnumbered 4-1. If those 100 carry on fighting, they're just going to be killed. Before that happens, they run away. In fact, casualties in ancient battles were very light. Very few men died before the rout. When one side eventually decided that it was going to lose and it was time to leg it, that's when large numbers of men got killed, during the pursuit, during the rout phase, not during the grinding combat of men at the front and the pushing and the shoving and so forth. That's not when most people died most of the time. Now, what's the difference between fleeing and routing? There's no absolutely strict definition of the difference between the two, but I think of fleeing as running very fast but still holding on to your weapons because you might need them again, and routing as ditching your weapons because you have no intention of doing any more fighting and you are just running as fast as you can. And if you ditch your weapons, then the enemy is incredibly unlikely to ditch its weapons whilst chasing you, which means that you have an advantage, so you have a much better chance of getting away. But it also means that you are of no further use to your commanders. Even if your unit gets rallied, you've ditched your stuff. So that's my definition of the difference between routing and fleeing. So where does a rout start from? So is it the obvious place, the front? Well, yes, a rout could start from the front, couldn't it? So there you are, you're in the front rank of your unit, you're the guys doing the actual fighting in the greatest immediate amount of danger, and you're the guys who can see the most about what is going on. So you can see that that guy there who's really, really seriously aggressive, and you've only just parried his last 3 attacks on you. Your best friend is screaming in agony and bleeding out to your left. This guy's going down. You've got a wound in the leg and you're edging back, and the guys behind you aren't giving you any room to fight. You are in tremendous danger. You think you're going to die very soon, so you decide, I'm off, and you push your way past the guys immediately behind you. And if you then take others with you, that they think, oh well, if the mighty Lloyd's going, I'm going as well. Besides, by my disappearing, I've exposed the flank to the guys next to me, so they're in more danger. So that you precipitate a rout. You've pushed through the guys behind you. They are now not in a good position to resist the sudden advance of the enemy, which now sees its opportunity. Aha! They're beginning to break, so the enemy might surge forward at that point, and the guys in the second rank, they're now in a difficult position because you're pushing them out of the way. They're not in a very good position to fight, and on comes the enemy. So you then carry the entire formation with you. You turn, you run, you push your way. The guys behind you then realise that the front row has just collapsed and everyone's pushing back. It's time to go. The whole unit then disappears as one. So a rout starts at the front. Or does it? Because what if you're, say, in the third rank back, in the middle of the formation? You are not in any immediate danger, but you're far enough forwards that you can see what's going on. You can see that the guys immediately in front of you are very hard pressed and some of them are going down. And as they go down, that means it'll be your turn soon. The guys in front of you go down. Oh no, maybe I will have to fight in this battle. I was really hoping not to have to fight. And then the guys behind them go down. I'm going to be in the front row very, very soon. I'm terrified because those guys at the front, they were the best soldiers and they've gone down and I'm not better than them, and the enemy's now surging forward and they've taken out the next lot and I wasn't better than them either. I mean, I'm only a third ranker or a fourth ranker, for goodness sake. If they couldn't stop them, I'm not going to stop them, and I was really hoping not to have to do any fighting at all. I'm off. So you turn around and you push through and you're off. So a rout is very likely to start from the middle, because from the middle, running away is actually safer. Because you've got the buffer zone of the front couple of ranks in front of you. They will save your life. They will slow down the enemy for long enough for you to get away. So a rout is very likely to start from the middle of a formation, not the front. Okay, what about the back? You're at the back, and why have they put you at the back? It's probably because you're one of the least reliable and experienced warriors. And there you are standing there, and you have in front of you the unknown, because you can't see what's happening at the front. And something you can't see can be a lot more terrifying. Every scream you hear, whether it's one of theirs or one of yours, sounds like one of yours. Or at least that's the fear that's in your mind. What's going on? What's going on? Can anyone see? You'll be asking the people in front of you, what's going on, all the time. But they won't be able to tell you. No one will tell you what's going on. That is terrifying. But you look round behind you and you can see this inviting open plain behind you. I could run away into that. I could run away into that and maybe go and live on an island somewhere, and, you know, I'll be fine. I just don't want to be part of this war anymore. You can see how it's very likely that a rout could actually start from the back. And another reason that it's terrifying being at the back is that everything you see, who are they? Who are they? Are they on our side? Why are they there? In ancient battles, it was the common practice to put all of your guys in the front line. You would try to engage with everyone at once, because that's the way to win. If you've got 10,000 men and they've got 3,000 men, you don't want their 3,000 men to attack 1,000 of your guys, beat them 3-to-1 odds, then attack the next 1,000, beat them 3-to-1 odds, and so forth. You want all of your guys to use the advantage of numbers and all get in there and swamp the enemy, get all those spears doing something to win the battle. So if there's a unit not doing anything, are they traitors? Why aren't they at the front line doing some good? And they're moving now. Why are they moving? They're going that way. Is that because we're losing over there? Or because we're losing over there and they're trying to reinforce it? Are we losing somewhere? Why are they moving? Why aren't they at the front? Are they ours? Because if they're not ours, I'm in tremendous danger here. A rout is quite likely to start from the back of a unit. But what if you're at the side of a unit? Could a rout start from the side of a unit? So a unit might be, I've given the arbitrary number of 500 men. Okay, so there's a reasonable size for a unit of men in a battle. But you wouldn't have a unit here and then a big gap through which cavalry could charge, and then another unit and so forth. By and large, in an ancient battle, there was a front line, and units were up against each other all the way along that line. So if I'm on the edge of the formation, and I look to my right, this neighbouring formation, it's just there. It's right there, right next to us. And if that starts going backwards, I'm not going to be very happy about that, because if that goes backwards but our unit doesn't, then there can be an awful lot of enemy in a position to attack the flank of this unit, and who's going to keep our unit safe? It's just me. It's just me. And, you know, there are an awful lot of those, and I'm just a bloke with a spear. Okay? And so if that unit starts giving ground, I'm very likely to want to give ground with it, so that, you know, the front line is maintained. But then as I pull back, then I'm sort of keeping myself safer. It's not me against the whole of the enemy now. It's me and the guys in the continuous line. But unfortunately, I'm exposing the guy next to me. So now he has to pull back, and then the next one, and then the next one. And as this unit goes back, the rout in this unit could start with me and the others on the side of the unit, because we go back with it to keep ourselves safe, and that pulls away the support all the way down the line and precipitates a rout. So it could well be that routs in ancient battles started from the sides of the unit, or the front, or the middle, or the back. So which was it? Well, one thing I want to say about this is that it isn't known. And anyone who tells you that it's one of these and not the others is talking out of his hat. It's pure speculation. It isn't known. History doesn't record it. And a lot of people have asked this question: where do routs start? And the first thing that I would say is that I believe that all of these are possible, and that in any battle the situation will be slightly different. Sometimes you're going uphill, downhill. Sometimes the people at the back, because they're attacking downhill, can see what's going on. Sometimes the people at the front are so busy that they are too busy to be terrified. They're so preoccupied with the immediate task of parrying and fighting and so forth that fear does not overcome them. So different battles, different things would happen. And I would also say that a very small number of men could potentially precipitate a rout. If you are, for instance, in the middle of a formation, say 3 ranks back from the front, and you can see a bit of what's going in front of you, you may get a local disaster. It may be that several guys immediately in front of you go down screaming in not many seconds and you think, oh, it's over, my unit is losing, it's time to go. But actually, further down the line, things are going broadly pretty well, and that overall your unit at this point is actually winning. And if you just did your job and just got forward and filled that little gap that's just opened, for the unit everything would be fine. But you don't want to do that, and so you pull back, taking the guys behind with you, and the whole formation unzips, because as soon as one guy deserts the next guy, he exposes him, and then he is forced to pull back for his own safety, and the whole unit can end up going because you misjudged the situation. So a very small number of men within a large formation could actually be at fault in starting a rout, and I don't believe there's any one place in a formation which is the source of routs. Now, I would say that one of the main reasons that men run away in a battle is because a neighbouring unit is defeated, in which case an awful lot of routs, I would think, in those circumstances would start from the side of a unit. But otherwise, it's just what happens on that day. History does record that major reverses in battles were possible and did in fact happen. So perhaps a very large army attacked a very small army, and because of one of those quirks of fate, everything went a bit pear-shaped. Lindybeige!